Hey class, I just wanted to take a few minutes to welcome you to the class and also to say thanks for registering for my class. My name is John Clanton and I will be your instructor for this class. English 30 Film as Literature. So the other reason why that I wanted to create this video was to kind of show you how to navigate the class. I'll usually post at least one assignment per week, and you will see this video on the assignments. There's nothing there right now because obviously I'm creating the video. But then after that, the best way to navigate the class is to do so through the modules. I know Canvas has a helpful tool, called the to-do list. My son is a student at Delta, and I've seen how that works. However, sometimes if that's the only thing that you rely on, you might miss out on some things. I try to put all of the content within the actual assignments so you won't miss anything, but that's not always the case. So the best way to access the class then would be through the modules. So for this week, you'll have a Start Here module, and you click on the first page, and it's, basically a welcome page, and it has all my information. I don't have a problem with you sending me a text if I don't respond to you as quickly as you need to. So you can send me a text, but basically just a little bit about the class. We will be watching films and reading them as if we were studying books, literature, right? Poems, novels, short stories, things like that. We will touch on a few nuts and bolts of filmmaking, and will happen this week actually. So anyway, so each of the modules, at the bottom of the page, there's a next button, and that's kind of the best way to navigate it. Your first assignment is just a little student survey. It talks about or has some questions like how to pronounce your name, or if there's a certain name that you want me to use. So, since we won't be meeting in a face-to-face classroom, this will be the next best thing. So just provides a little information for me about each one of you. All right, let me get out of this. Okay, submit quiz. All right. Yeah, so make sure you navigate through all of the modules, because each page has something I think pretty valuable. This has the syllabus, but there's another page I want you to see. Yeah, here you go. So here I have a link to the health and financial services if you want any information on that, and not just the college, right? The county at large as well. A link to the DSPS office, a link to the tutoring, and a link to the bias incident response team, and things like that. So that's your first kind of module. It's the Start Here module, and then after that we're going to get into the content, and week 1 is going to be, since we only have 6 weeks, we kind of have to compress it a bit. Week 1 we're going to do the introductions and some film terms and cinematic effects. So again, each week I'll kind of lay out a preview, and I will list the objectives for the unit. So for example, this week, this unit, the objectives are to understand a little bit about the major movements in film history, to describe the different film terms, and also to kind of review and explain the various cinematic effects. And I have a table here. So you'll have your typical icebreaker discussion. I like to do a bingo game when we're in class, but obviously we're online. And then there's a couple of discussion prompts. You are going to watch a lot of, you're going to read about, and you're going to watch lots of short videos about different film terms, different film effects, and some videos that I made as well. So the due dates are on Sunday. Try to have your first post by Friday, if you can. But I want to take you through this first page. So this is the icebreaker here. Now, when you get to your second discussion post, again, since it's only a 6-week class, we're going to have to kind of go at a quicker pace than I normally would. But what I've done here is created some videos about the different cinematic effects. So, for example, we have a shot, right? The shot, I give a short lecture on the shot. And this is an age restriction, but that shouldn't be a problem. Then after I do a little game that I like to do in class with this scene from The Breakfast Club, I have you watch this very long shot from an adaptation called Atonement that's based on Ian McEwan's best-selling novel. And then, so then we go on to framing. I found some useful quick videos on framing. And then at the end of each one, I do something called the quick take, where I kind of wrap up the things that you've read about and the things that you've watched. So it's going to seem like a lot of content here because we're going to cover about 6 or 7 of these. See, we have angle, but most of these videos are anywhere from like 30 seconds to 4 minutes. All right, so make sure you watch through all of these, right, and view my lectures. And then at the very end, you will have your prompt, right? It says, for this discussion, you're going to practice identifying the cinematic elements you just learned about and explain their impact in the short film Gridlock, right? So this film is maybe 6 or 7 minutes long, and it says choose one of the cinematic elements. So focus on one: shot, framing, focus, camera movement, right? And name the, right, well, you don't have to name the movie because it's going to be a Gridlock. So you want to begin your response with an introduction, right? Which one of these 7 are you going to focus on, and why was it important, right? For example, was rack focus used to direct the viewer's attention to an important object? Did sound create a certain mood? And all of this will make much more sense once you watch the videos and view my lectures. Your response should be a minimum of 1 well-developed paragraph. Don't forget to include specific details from the scene. You can paraphrase it if you want. And then, of course, as usual, after you post your first post, come back and respond to at least 2 classmates' posts. And sometimes I do give extra credit, right? If you write 2 or 3 paragraphs or respond in detail to more than 2 students, I don't have a problem with giving you extra credit. So the final thing then is you're going to do the same thing. I've included the exact same lectures because I don't know how these are going to show up in the to-do list, but of course you're going to access it through the modules, right? But this time you're going to watch a movie called Dog or Inja, right? So you're going to do the same thing. But what I would like you to do, if you focused on camera movement for Gridlock, then maybe for the second film, right, focus on a different cinematic element, maybe sound or maybe angle. All right? So have fun, and if you have any questions, feel free to send me an email or shoot me a text.